Hey everyone, thanks again for watching, liking, and subscribing. Really appreciate it. Thanks to all of you that helped us get over 1,000 subs. It's awesome. Thank you so much. Like I said, we really appreciate it. In this video, what I'm going to do is I've got about 4 mods that I'm going to show you guys. None of them are big enough to do their own video on, so I'm just going to start off the bat here and start with the first one, which is the gold reservoirs on the back of the bike. They're not bad. I don't really care for them. I don't think that the gold really suits the bike. So what I'm going to do is I've ordered up some of this black vinyl, and I'm going to wrap the rear shocks in this black vinyl. I'll show you how to do that in just a second. Alright, first things first, got some alcohol. I'm going to clean off the reservoirs, just make sure there's no residue or anything that's going to affect the adhesion of the vinyl. I'll put a link in the bottom to this vinyl that I picked up. It's just off of AliExpress. It's cheap stuff. Had to cut it to 18 centimeters. I measured around. So 18 centimeters or around 7 inches is what I cut it to. And then I'm going to show you here what I did to hopefully make it a little easier to apply. Is like I say, measured it out 18 centimeters. And then what I've done is I've cut a section of the paper out like so that I'm able to place it up here on the reservoir, stick it there with just that, and then work my way around. So like I say, I don't profess to be a pro at this vinyl stuff, but actually most times I probably buggered it up more than not. So, but let's see how it goes here. So, like I say, I'm just gonna pull this little section out, up the whole thing. But anyways, we'll give her a shot here. So, placing this right up on the top, like so. Noticing that, just put this around this way. Noticing that the vinyl isn't laying flat. So there, okay. Now I've got my heat gun down here. Creases. Okay. There's our first section. I'm going to try and work this around. Keeping in mind to watch the top edge. Edge of the aluminum. Where it meets the body of the shock. You guys know what I mean. Okay. Slowly and evenly wrap it around. Smooth it out as you go. Now where I want the seam to meet, of course, is on the back of the shock. The other thing you could do, of course, is take the shocks
off the bike and do it on the bench, but what would be the fun in that? Residue of the tape from there. Of course, it's our resident ringneck pheasant. Okay, now we'll get around to the other side. Over here. Try and work this way now. Just try and use a bit of this backing so that it don't mess it up too bad. Force her up a bit there. Little by little. Try and get this guy in, and then around and behind. As you can hear, we've got a lot of wildlife in this area. That one's got to be stretched up a bit. Working this. It's got a little bit of a millimeter that's just showing just a bit. But from 10 feet you're not going to see anything, so let's see how this goes. paper behind it. Just gonna smooth this. Give it a bit of heat again. I want to get rid of the paper from behind the shock. There we go. It's a little bit difficult to try and stretch it around behind, but I think with some persistence will.
There's a couple little ripples on the back that I can feel with my fingers, but you can't really see. Just got to keep on working this vinyl, and it'll go. So there's our first one done. I'll just hit it with a little bit of heat just to make sure that it's all. It helps to smooth it out. You don't want to get too hot because you don't want to shrink it. Now this particular vinyl is just straight 10 centimeters wide as well, so I hadn't planned it, but it comes in at just the right length. So you can see a bit of the gold still, but from a few feet. It's not noticeable below. So now I'll get over and do the other side, then I'll show you the next mod after I've done that one. I'll just do this one off camera. Alright, so that's the first one done. Or sorry, the second one done. First mod for this video. But yeah, if you stand back, it looks pretty good, I think. The way it's a nice change if you look at the bike and the black sort of theme of it. The gloss reservoirs, matching of course the cowl and the paint, the fairing. Looks pretty good. Okay, next, what we're going to do is I'm going to wrap the heel guards here. Same thing. This time though, I've got a flat black vinyl for these. So I'm just going to pop them off, and then I'll be right back with you. So I got the both heel guards off. Plates, heel guards, whatever you want to call them, left and right. So on this one, what I've got is a flat black vinyl. Again, I'll put a link in the description to these if anybody wants to grab them. It's cheap. So, let's just put it down. Right about there. Stuck. Go from one side, being this side over here, and then work my way over to the other side. See how that works. A little bit of heat to help things along. 2 here. Slowly working it along. First one worked out fairly well, as you can see. Now for number 2, just again. Okay, so here we go. Work our way around. Like I say, just take your time and use a bit of heat if you need it to make it a little more flexible. Now we'll work on the other one and we'll install them. I'll get right back with you. Okay, so there we have the first and second mods. Got the blacked out shocks and the heel guards. Looks pretty good. Yeah. All right. For the third mod in this series, what I'm going to do is, as you can see, when you lean your bike over on the side stand, it seems to me that it leans more than it should compared to other motorcycles I've ridden. The Enfield, you always sort of feel that it's going to set down and then it's got that extra spot. So what I'm going to do is make up an extension for the side stand. Now I found a chunk of rubber at work. You could use anything. You can use the heel of a boot or a sole or an old piece of tire, whatever. This one, all I'm going to do is tip her up, and then that chunk of rubber there. So what you do is trace it out. Trace it out along the edges of your side stand, which is what I've done already. And then through the wonders of camera life, I ground this off on a bench grinder that I have at work. So anyways, I did that. That's going to give me the extra lift that I want so that the bike sits a little more normal when it's on the side stand, or what I consider to be a more normal, comfortable height. So for this mod, all I'm going to do is, like I say, I've already trimmed this out, and I'm going to just JB weld this little extension onto the foot, and it'll be like that, like that. So yeah, just gonna whip up some JB weld. Like I say, you can use almost anything. An old piece of tire. This is I guess about 1/3 of an inch thick, but yeah, anything, whatever you desire to get the height. I've heard of people using hockey pucks, same type of a hard rubber. Hockey pucks is probably a little bit too thick though, but yeah. So now I'm just going to whip up some JB weld, and then I'm going to clamp this in place. Be right back. All right, so I've got this ready. Got some JB and a clamp. Just going to spread the old JB weld on. You can use probably any kind of epoxy. I just seem to have this JB around and thought I might as well make use of it. So, and at the end of the day, if it falls off while I'm riding, oh well, no big deal. I don't know that that'll be necessary, but now we just clamp it in such a way that it doesn't move, hopefully. That's not going to work well. Alright, so luckily for me, my beautiful wife had a hair elastic that works perfect. So I've put it up there with a
a hair elastic. So hopefully that's going to hold. One other thing I should mention while I'm here, this piece of plastic, you can see there's 4 holes in it. What I had to do on the side here is I had to cut out and make little plastic washers because it was pulling the vinyl. The bolt was, when I was tightening it up, it would pull the vinyl, so I had to put the little plastic washer sort of as a buffer between the vinyl and the bolt. So as you can see, it's pulled a little bit, but nothing too noticeable. All right, okay, on to number 4. Be right back. All right, so for number 4, I'm going to replace the shiny aluminum plug in the side of the case with a black inspection plug. So this is what I picked up from Hitchcock's, ordered online. I'll put a link in the bottom. But yeah, pretty simple little thing. We'll take out the old guy. There's a little cover that came with that one. So, anyways, for the new one, I'm just going to put a bit of grease on the rubber O-ring here to keep it in place. So it doesn't flop around or get pinched. Of course. Put that into the channel. And that's there. Just anal about checking to make sure it's there, and it's there. Okay. I had this momentary thought that it had slipped out of place, but it didn't. There we go. Okay, so that's easy mod number 4. So, just to recap, what we've done is we've got the shock, the heel plate, the kickstand extension, and then the black plug. So there. Once again, guys, thanks for watching, liking, subscribing. If you like the content, please give us some thumbs up and please subscribe. And until next time, keep your rubber side down. We'll talk to you later. Bye. All right, so here we are. Next day, I love that JB is set up. I haven't actually tried it yet, but there and there we go. So the bike doesn't lean over as far now with that. It does leave a little black mark, but it'll... So there you have it. It's pretty good. Much better angle for parking your bike.